Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical, informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager. Make sure we're transmitting. What's up? What it do? Oh yeah, we're good. Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland, aka the Mind Massager. And we are excited about tonight's show. We have a special guest that I have invited to come on and share some of his experiences with us. Without any further ado, not even going to prolong the time, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in now. Esquire, how you doing, sir? Mr. Efrem Neely, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And do you know why you're here, sir?
I think I made a Facebook post and it made a little stir.
It made a little stir. And for the listeners, those that, and we're going to have some more that are going to come on. Trust me, we're just getting started right now. And if you want to go ahead and share it with your listeners, you can just share it. You can go to the Facebook page and share the thread and let them know that you're on. And hopefully we can get some of those views on the show tonight. And I'll have no issue with putting out a link so that they can come on, as long as they come on and be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I don't like to do is argue on this show. I try to put it to a certain point where we can communicate effectively, and we can't communicate effectively if we're yelling and arguing and all those types of things. So I try to keep it that way. But bro, you put something out there last week, man, and it made people think, and that's why I brought you on the show tonight, so we can talk about those things. I'm giving you a second to go ahead and get it shared out there with your audience, and I know my audience, they'll see us on in a minute and they'll come on. So what was on your mind before you made that post? And we'll talk about the post here in a second, just a moment.
Well, what was on my mind?
Yes, sir. What prompted that post?
So I had a scenario where it was like a double standard going on.
Hold on, did we lose you? Hold on. Y'all hold on. He'll be right back. I think he must have gotten clicked out. So let's let him come back in, and we'll go and we're gonna like I said, we're gonna have a good conversation tonight with regards to dating. And we got Efrem Neely. I call him Efrem Neely Esquire because he is an attorney. And so we got him on with us tonight. So he was getting ready to tell us about the post that he made last week that got a lot of traction. I think he had almost 300 something views. 300 something comments on that particular post last week. So I'm going to allow him to come back in just a moment. As soon as he can reconnect and get started, then we'll get going. But who all's in the chat? Efrem will be right back. Who all's in the chat? Who all's in the chat? Y'all let me know you're there. Let me know you're there. Y'all say hi. Don't be rude. If you come into somebody's house, come on in. Don't be rude. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Let me know where you're listening from. Also, I want to know something else tonight. How are you listening? Are you listening on a smartphone? Are you listening on a tablet? Are you listening on a laptop? Let me know that. But come on, Efrem, let's get this conversation started. Like I said last week, hey Teresa, you made this post, and we're not going to talk about the name of the post just yet, but I just want to know what you were seeing through your lenses that prompted you to make the post.
I was basically serious, both being judged by finances, kind of like the women I was dealing with, And then as far as like exclusivity, it was like a double standard in it, and it threw me for a loop. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess I would have to go into more detail, but just that's the basic. Like, you know, for I don't know. It just seemed like money was playing a big deal in dating, yeah. And the woman's
You said it sounded
perspective
like
was really
money
throwing me
was
for a
playing a
loop.
big
That's
deal.
all.
You said it seemed like money was playing a big deal in the day, and you're breaking up a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't know if your Wi-Fi is slowing us down a little bit. You break it up a little bit, but go ahead and talk about money's playing a big deal in dating, and
I'm
what
on that
aspect?
I move this back.
Lazeric, I'm gonna tell you what the post is in just a minute. Right? Give me a second. I'm gonna set it up in 1 second. Lazeric, are you there? Can you hear me, Efrem?
I can. And it was like respect wasn't even a part of any of it. You know, like really just trying to get to know somebody genuinely was not a part of. And I was realizing just it wasn't a part of dating. You know, dating had nothing to do about like a real courtship, man, the woman, and all that. Dating was more along the lines of, you know, hey, what can you do for me? How much can you spend on me on this date? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about a genuine conversation, a genuine examination of an interest or about, you know, ideas or principles. I made a statement. I was like, you know, well, I'm really looking for basically a financial partner, not somebody I got to take care of, not trying to go 50-50 or nothing, but someone that we could build a portfolio and, you know, we can move forward together. And I was trying to explain, you know, to the person that if you got 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out the door, it's hard for you to do that. And I feel
Yeah.
like I had more to invest than they did, but their position was still, you know, standing. You know, like, hey, it should be on you. That was crazy to me.
Yeah, and I can see that, and people are asking what the post is because yesterday I asked a question, Ephraim, and if you ever listen to my platform, one thing that I try to do is I really try to promote positive heterosexual relationships. That's what I promote. I try to foster atmospheres to teach us how to communicate better. I try to show us that a lot of the issues that we have one with the other are really the issues that we have with ourselves, because some of the issues are not really gender based. A lot of the issues are just, because what the old saying is that if you don't like yourself, it's hard to like the world, right? Or if there's certain aspects that you don't like about you,
Correct.
then you kind of see the world based on how you see yourself, right? And so if you give yourself extremely high, make high standards, and it's hard to kind of meet your own goals, then it's going to be hard for somebody else to please you, right? And I think that factors into how we see the world. So when you start talking about some of the issues that you're dating now, when you talk about, like, for instance, the ladies that you're seeing that are talking about the money, is there a specific age group?
No, it's not an age group, but I will say this: I have noticed that definition of the way finances are looked at is different in different age groups.
From what aspect?
So this just like any other person. It just seems that, like, that 35 and under people, they just believe that, it's a materialistic thing. It's not about actually building a relationship. Man, I even say 40, maybe 40 and under. They're like, this is all about, give me some Gucci. I mean, stuff they don't have, but they want to have it because they know you can give it to them. Give me some Gucci, give me some Louis Vuitton. If you can't give me that, then, I'm saying, why am I talking to you? And that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You can't give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So why in the first generation on the lines of, not going 50-50 with no man? You know what I'm saying? Like, a man should pay for the stuff. I should just pay for this and pay for that. And, the rest of mine should be mine and whatever. And it just never a point, man, just one. Let's build let's put it together, and we ain't gonna worry about all that 50-50. We ain't gonna worry about who's doing the most or who's getting the most, because we committed to each other. And I think that's just another one of those hindrances. And I don't want my whole conversation to be about finances, because it's more. We can talk about more, but that's how it started. It was
I
a
got you.
financial thing.
Got you. And the reason I asked, was it with a younger crowd? Because I mean, I'm kind of, well, I guess I've been divorced. Have you ever been married, Efrem?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. I was married, I was married for 20 years. And then coming out into the dating scene, everything had
I
changed.
was
You know
married
what
for
I'm saying?
10.
You married for 10, okay. So imagine being married for 20 years doing a dub, right? And doing a dub on the block. And then you come out, man, when I got married, they barely even had cell phones at that time. You know what I'm saying? The internet was kind of new coming into the scene. It was a whole bunch of different things that were kind of going on. So when you come out and you see these changes, and you see, and I've witnessed what you're talking about, the women who come in with hands. I mean, you on the first or second conversation, third conversation, they asking, can you purchase this for them, or can you buy this? And or if you even send them a $20 for a $20 lunch for Cash App. I did that one time, man, and somebody they made me feel like I was dumb too. And they like, wait a minute, what you expect me to get with $20? I'm like, a Big Mac, or something, or get you a combo meal or something.
Correct.
But so it was kind of, so I get what you're saying. Now, I hadn't ran into the Gucci and the Louis just yet, probably because I might not be in your tax bracket. I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. But so let's get into the post though. So what the Lazaric, you asked earlier, what was the post that he made? Well, this was the post he made. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. This was the post he made right here. Efrem Neely, Facebook. Here we go. He asked a question. He said that, well, he didn't ask a question. He made a statement. He said the level of disrespect in dating these days is appalling. That was a statement he made. And when he made that statement, look there, it triggered 238 comments. It triggered 238 comments. Now, if you want to go to his page and see what some of those comments are, you can. But Efrem, do you remember what were some of the comments that kind of stuck out to you? Because I noticed that the people kind of started every time they would kind of go into another direction, you would have to kind of bring them back.
The main thing, I just want to tell you, the main thing that stuck out to me was that it was amazing how many people were just saying that they really just was over dating. They give up. They dating is no satisfaction in it for them. So that was the main thing. It was just, and it was males and females who, wow, you just want to give up on finding somebody to make you a whole person, because it's set up like that. You actually really need your rib to be a whole person. You know what I mean? So that was the thing that threw me off. I just give up. I mean, dang, how bad does that have to be for you just to quit?
Wow. Hey, everybody in the chat right now, do me a favor, share this thread right quick. Let everybody know that we're talking about dating with Efrem Neely, Esquire, tonight. Efrem put a post out last week talking about how the level of dating, the level of disrespect in dating, and how appalling it was. And like he said, when he put that thought out there, a lot of people started saying that they have. I mean, I've heard it myself. And actually, I want to bring a female perspective in. Let me bring my co-host in, Efrem. Her name is Coy. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see Coy or not. Coy is a mother as well, but hopefully we'll get a chance to see her pretty face as well. But let me bring Coy in. Coy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Coy, say hello to Efrem.
Hello, Efrem.
Good afternoon or good evening, Coy.
All right. So you've been listening, Coy?
I've been listening, and that's interesting. But I have a question for you, Efrem. When you go into your dating pool, do you discuss with these people what you do for a living? Is that brought up? Is that important for you to discuss with them?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked it. So I have a professional circle, and so I do have friends who use that as their dating tool, and I have some who don't. I'm one of the ones who don't. So like you wouldn't know I was an attorney unless someone told you. You know what I mean? Like I sit there and talk to you all night. They're like, man, he's a regular guy. And then like when somebody said, well, he's an attorney, like, man, you're an attorney? What? You know what I'm saying? That's me. And so yeah, to answer your question, I'm more the guy who does not use my profession in my dating circumstance. But you can't help it. Like once you're around me, or you observe, people have mannerisms and characteristics. You see stuff about them. You may not know what they do, but it's something about them.
So when they ask the question, you do tell?
When they ask the question, do I tell them what I do?
Yeah.
Of course, I don't lie.
Okay, so that could be one of your main issues also, because that sometimes could potentially attract people who are uncomfortable. And when I say uncomfortable, I say this to say they're uncomfortable in their lifestyle, so they hunt for people like that to make them comfortable, and they have someone that they can potentially tell them, hey, I'm uncomfortable, but they're not saying it. They're saying it in so many words. They're just not flat out saying that I'm uncomfortable. So you're going to have to make me comfortable. And to make me comfortable, I need that Louis Vuitton. I need that Gucci bag. I need all this shit that Arkansas don't even have a store for, but I need it.
Listen, I appreciate what you're saying, and I totally agree. But like when we first started, I was saying that was just one aspect of something that happened. Another issue that dating presents to me is that it can't be two men. My bad. It can't be two. No, I said it right. It can't be two men trying to run the relationship. And what I mean by that is, the more it appears to me in the dating scene that the more successful and independent that the woman is like y'all competing to be the man in a relationship or in the dating cycle. You know what I mean? So that's it's a lot of different dynamics. So I don't want to get hung up on just the money part. It's more to it.
Right. So you're gonna attract so you're not attracted to the women who are on your level, maybe because you think that way. So you're gonna attract the ones who are uncomfortable because you feel more comfortable with them.
You know what? I didn't know this was a diagnose. I didn't know this was a diagnosis.
No.
That's a question.
I'm just saying. Okay,
let me reword this. Do you feel like
it don't matter how you reword it,
attracting the people who are uncomfortable because you're not really you're turned off by somebody who's maybe on your level because of what you've experienced with women like that? That is a question.
Okay, so back to what I said. So I'm an attorney, right? So just because you reworded what you said didn't change the direction or what you were doing. So back to where we at, you rephrase you trying to like dissect what's going on with me. Well, what I'm saying to you is what's going on with me is what's going on with everybody out there, and that's the whole point. So like if you look at the responses on the post I made, it was my post was basic, but like all the stuff I'm saying to you, that was on the post. And so now you're asking me these things, and it's like you're analyzing me, which I don't have a problem with, but that ain't really the basis of I thought why we were here. I thought we were here just trying to put some of the issues out there, you know what I'm saying, and test it. I could be like, well, Coy, what kind of men do you like? Oh, how's that working out for you? I could do you like that, but I'm not gonna do you like that. I just want us to move to like a place where we talking about these issues,
right?
And then we can bring other people in, and they can share their issues, and they don't have to be just completely dissecting my issues.
Okay, let me take you out of it. Then you're saying the men were seeing some of the same stuff. So my question is, do you think that is the issue? Because men have problems, or some men have problems with women who are making their kind of money or more than them. They feel like you said, it feels like there's two men trying to be together.
It's not always about the money, though. It's not always about the money. It could be. It could be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Let me just say this real quick, because honestly, and I hear what I know. Coy love to play that roving reporter thing, so I got to pull her back sometime though. So don't. That's my girl. But listen, but this is the thing right here though, Coy. Honestly, the women that are on his level, I don't think they would need him to buy them the Louis. I don't think they would need him to buy the whatever they want him to buy. The women that
but they're the same.
He's saying they want it too.
They want it too.
So the whole point is it's not about the financial aspect.
It's not yeah.
Right.
That's one thing. So now take the financial aspect out of it, right? Mm-hmm. Now then you take the what I was saying about like two people can't be the men. So one of the conversations that my friends, and I mean males and females, especially like females lately, like my female just friends, you know, we've been talking about what does it mean to be submissive? And you know, how does a woman be submissive? And how does a man recognize when a woman is submissive? And so then one of my friends said, hey, you don't have to try. If a man connects with a woman, automatically she's submissive. And that threw everything in a tailspin for me. I blew my mind. Mm-hmm. Now, Corey, help us with that.
I agree with that because, you know, when I'm comfortable with someone, it's easy. When I'm uncomfortable, it's not. It's not easy. It's just easy because for me, I have a lot going on in my career. But if I'm home and I'm with you, I don't want to run anything. I'm gonna run that office and that's it. But when I get home, I want to be able to be a woman and relax. And it's easier when things are that way and I'm more comfortable.
So then I guess that brings me to the next question that we have had. So since you said that, can you give us your version or your definition of what it is for a woman to be submissive?
My definition of a woman to be submissive.
I mean, you said you like being submissive. So what does it mean? I want to know.
For my definition,
the world want to know.
I really can't define that. It's just that I don't know. It may offend a lot of people, but for me, the way I was raised in a 2-family household. So I experienced my mom and my dad as parents and as husband and wife as well. My mom had her role. My dad had his role. I had my role at the house and my significant other would have their role. So a lot of people don't want to say, well, there shouldn't be roles. Yeah, there's roles and roles work. I believe in that. They truly, they work. So, okay.
You didn't answer the question though. You talked around it.
No, I answered you. Initially, I need you to listen to me. I answered you. I said, I don't have a definition what submissive is. So I need you to listen to me, not just hear me.
What I heard you say earlier was, okay, you said that you like being in your submissive role by, going home and not having to do this. You just like to run stuff at the office. So by saying that, it's an indication that you have an idea what being submissive is. And so I thought, that, you could help me and my buddies so we can know what we're looking for. But you saying that you don't know, you don't know.
No, I don't have a definition for being submissive. Like it's whatever works for the couple. For me, I'm going to be a woman. I'm not going to be the man. Yeah. Now I can tell you this. I do have a lot of male energy because I figure it out. I do. I don't know if you understand it. I need you to listen to me now.
What is male energy? I need to know what male energy is.
Male energy in certain situations, I have to figure it out. That's male energy. I don't crumble. That's male energy. I'm not as emotional as how can I put this? I don't want to say the average woman, but some women. I don't know. It's just I have to figure it out. So that is male energy, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. It is. It's not me coming to my significant other and saying, "Oh, can you help me figure this out?" or just not figuring it out myself. Like I have to figure a lot of things out and just go with it and make decisions. So that's male energy. That's not feminine.
Yeah, I won't touch that one because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of feminists out there who they really want to say something. So I'll let you have that one.
Hey, let me ask this question. Ladies in the chat. Corey says she don't really have a definition. She kind of gave an example of what it is. But what does it mean to be submissive by your estimation? Because every woman that I'm hearing says that if they run into a real male and the male operates in his natural role and does what he's supposed to do, then they don't have a problem being submissive. That's what I hear. That's the popular consensus I get now. Of course, then the flip side of that is finding some men who operate in that role and operate in it. I'm sure there are out there, several out there. But let's keep the conversation going. Coy and Efrem going. They are psychologically bantering right now, so it's kind of fun watching them. It's and I'm sitting back watching. I ain't bring no popcorn. All I got is some Gatorade. I got some Gatorade. If I had some popcorn, I'd be chewing it right now. But it's real talk. So, but man, you had a lot of interesting answers from the dating pool being affected by the crackhead era. Did you remember that answer?
Oh my God, I didn't know where that came from. And we had a whole bunch of inbox conversation behind it. I was like, wow. But the one thing I got out of it was at least she was thinking about the question, the statement though.
Yeah. And that, you know what, and that's why I like the fact that when you put the question out there, you left it so general. And when you leave it general like that, then it gives them, then you really get a chance to see what people are thinking. Like you got one comment, this person said, well, we'll always remember this little fun fact. Dating is only getting to know different people while in the process of choosing to become exclusive. So when a lot of us, I think, and I talk about this a lot, Corey, you hear me, a lot of us, we want to play that kindergarten or second grade dating dating game where you say, will you go with me, check the box? Or they want, they want to draft somebody, right? And they don't know how to make a clean break before they've made too much of an investment. Because if you would know at a certain point when a person really is not what you're looking for, right? But sometimes we get so enamored with the idea of they check off so many other boxes, and because they check off those boxes, maybe I can change them and get them to become who I want them to become. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, last thing I want somebody to do is come in thinking they can change me. Like, for instance, you think you're going to change my eating habits, you're going to change this, you're going to change that. You're probably not going to do that. It's just not going to happen, especially in the beginning. Don't come in acting like you're a drill sergeant and we had known each other for about 6 or 7 minutes. At least let me get to know you a little bit. Man, but oh Lord, somebody wrote this long. Okay, Teresa, I'm going to have to read that. What do you think?
Can I say something right quick?
Sure.
So to piggyback off what you're saying, which I lost my thought a little bit. I got to get it back on track. Like you were saying, like with this dating thing, and like when you were like kind of like I just say it, men or the men I know or that I associate with, our biggest issue is that you're right. We don't make a clean break from past relationships. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's an insecurity that we have on being alone. I don't know if it's a selfish sexual need or whatever, or if it's just the mammal alpha male that you belong to me, this is mine syndrome. But we will date a woman, know that the woman is not the woman for us. We will seek another woman, seeking to find what we don't have in this woman and what we're looking for or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we'll hold on to this other woman and we won't let her go.
Wow.
Like she is just the fallback just in case, as we try to move forward, the safety net that we can always come back, knowing that we're not going to be with her. And I think, how do we move past, holding on to that old energy for our own selfish needs? What do you think about that?
Man, that's a good thought, and we've talked about that sometimes. Keeping people in that friend zone, right? Stuck in the friend zone, just so you can keep them close. And I think sometimes that can go either way, though. Sometimes it's maybe we're getting ourselves ready for that person because we know that they really deserve better, and we know we're not them just yet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really want nobody else to have. I don't really want nobody else to have her. So I'm at least be in her life to an extent. Or like you said, we keep them as the fallback, and we'll go find the freak over here that'll do this to us, or we'll find this one over here that'll stimulate us intellectually with the conversation. We find this one over here that can be the homie, quote unhomie, but then we got this one we can fall back yeah, I get it, you know, and I think a lot of times, even in marriage, you know, we find ourselves, you know, if we're not careful, if we don't, and I always talk about managing growth. You know, if you don't control the growth and you allow yourself to grow wild, and you put yourselves in those positions where you start finding those friends that satisfy, and listen to the word, Efrem and Coy, and those that are listening, we find individuals that satisfy those other needs, because
Yeah.
those are needs, right?
Right.
They're voids that need to be
Mhm.
filled. And if we're not getting it filled at home, and we're not, and listen, this is not a license to cheat. This is not a license to go outside. This is not a license to go outside. We're just having grown-up conversation right now, just saying. And Efrem, I think somebody probably gonna call you baby Steve Harvey for the night over with.
What?
You're giving up free.
Hey, I'm just saying, in my line of work, I every once in a while I delve over into domestic work. I come to learn something from my own relationships and from like my line of work is that it's three categories that most relationships built on and most relationships fall apart on. And I think that in dating, these three categories should be greatly considered because one really doesn't outweigh the other. And if you look back at your life or your dating cycle, you'll see that maybe you were like, okay, well, they got this one and this one, but this one right here they don't have. Oh, I can work with it. But then as time goes on, you realize that you could never have worked with in the first place, but you did it, or you took one that didn't have two. And so three of those would be, and I know you probably said this, it would be like sexual compatibility, finances, and communication. Think about that.
Any specific order?
No specific order. All are equal. I could have said communication, finances, sexual compatibility. I could have said it's no order. Nothing's more. If you think about it, if you don't have an intimate relationship that works, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, either you're gonna leave a person or you're gonna go outside looking for the intimate satisfaction, right?
You're gonna follow your nature.
If your finances are not where they're supposed to be, I mean, especially it works with men. Men, they tend to just leave or just go do what they want to do. But women, no offense, just a simple conversation and a man will step in and financially, put forth what the woman's need. With 9 times out of 10, that's going to lead to some kind of infidelity or changing of the emotional mindset from that woman, man that she has, to this man who is, giving her what she needs. And on the communication part, we all know that communication is everything. The touching, affection, talks, understanding, just all those things that you convey your emotions, your feelings, just everything about y'all do falls into that. And if you don't have that, I mean, just you can't talk to your person or you just can't relate to your person, then you gonna this another human nature. You gonna talk to somebody. and you gonna, and so I'm just saying, so with these three things right here in dating, I have come to realize that all three are important.
Did you freeze?
Now,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
I'm back.
You back.
So,
there we go.
I can't.
So the only one I want to say that that it's the one that takes time and you don't get to right off the bat is going to be that sexual compatibility one. Because the rest of it, the communication is going to come first, really, because that's when you start getting to know the person. The finances, that's going to come through communicating with the person and knowing, where they are financially, their beliefs on finances, and, all that kind of good stuff. Now, the last one is just the tough one because, like, it's hard to create compatibility in the bedroom or other intimate ways when it's just not, in a person's nature. It's just not there. Try as much as you might, love as much as you might, and like Coy said, human nature is gonna make you go find satisfaction, gratification, or whatever. So, anyway, those are just the three things that when I really try to focus on dating that I'm looking for. But it's hard out here, man. It's hard.
Wow, that's good stuff right there. Hey, just a minute ago though, because we were talking about finding satisfaction from different people or different sources, right? And
Yes, sir.
look what Lazarick said. Now Lazarick, of course, we can't do this, but he said if I could have multiple women and all of them knew the situation, I would. He said, be honest and real with yourselves. Then he went on further to say that each woman would fulfill each of my different desires, and there's nothing wrong with that. Only in America is this an issue. In other countries, it's normalized to have nothing. Now, I ain't gonna start. I'm not gonna.
That's true. That's
I
true.
know it's true, but I ain't gonna start.
You
I'm not
know,
gonna open up no can of worms. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Coy?
I'm just saying, I don't. Okay, I'm not gonna say I don't know who, but James, I know you're a man of the cloth, but the Bible has really messed us up in so many ways. So it's created a stress where we feel like we can leave our entire foundation because somebody acts on human nature, and then we have to start all over with the next person. When this is a part of, men, women, we're all created differently. um a man's nature is to have multiple people. I mean, whether we want to agree with it or not, it is what it is. That's the way it
Coy
is.
said it.
Women by nature, we're not like that. We weren't built like that. That's why a man can go and have a baby with Jackie. The next day he can go and get somebody else pregnant. The next day he can go and we have to wait 9 months to have that child. So it's not in our nature to desire multiple partners. So when this happens, I feel like it really put a strain on the relationship, and people feel like they have to follow perfection. It's not in our nature to be perfect. So why do we expect perfection in a relationship? And we equate sexual activity to love. It's not limited to love. Sexual activity should be just sexual activity, and love should be love.
Do y'all agree with that, ladies? Hey, Coy said it. We didn't. Efrem, you didn't say it, did you?
No, sir.
No, I didn't say it. So the one who said it was Coy. Can you say it again for the people in the back?
Well, I'm
Sexual.
just saying, I'm not gonna leave my listen.
Say it again. No, repeat it first. You can
Sexual
explain it again in a minute.
activity
I
is
want you.
sexual activity, and love is love. People really mishandle that by saying, "Oh, because this person did this, they didn't love me, they didn't respect me, they're not faithful." That's not true. Faithfulness is not just limited to sexual activity. Faithfulness means so much more than that. You can be faithful in so many areas. So if someone, sex has controlled so many relationships. I feel like if we go back to our nature, we will be able to create relationships and stay in them without 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 that affecting our foundation. Because I can be with you, James, for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
You step out, you step out,
Uh-huh.
you come back, or I find out, James, listen, why you do this? We're gonna talk about this, we're gonna discuss this. Okay, I'm missing in this area, and all ain't you. I was just sexually attracted, and I acted on it. Okay. Did you protect yourself? Yeah, I protected myself. You protected us. We good. But I'm gonna test you for about 6 months. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna make sure you tested, and we're still good. But at the end of the day, if I leave you,
I
James,
love
and
you.
I start over, that same man is still a man, and he can do the same thing, and then I have to start over again if I keep leaving that man. So no, I am not going to leave my foundation and everything I built with the person because he decided to act on sex. So that is the bottom line right there. We have to stop leaving our relationships because somebody acts on their nature. Now if they're
Lazarick,
sympathetic and they come back and they talk about it, they discuss it, let's move forward. It's a part of nature.
what
Who
liquor go?
created
What
this
liquor go with
where
Gatorade? I need a drink. I need a drink. I don't really drink tonight, but I do. Is there a specific liquor that goes with Gatorade?
listen, stop.
I need a
Whoever
drink. I'm for real.
created this is responsible for people relation. I mean, because a lot of people do a lot of stuff in their relationship. They can even take money from the other spouse and they'll forgive them. Oh yeah, we're gonna move forward. But once they step out, it's a different story.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna go to court. We're gonna split up everything that's gone. All that 10 years is gone. I'm gonna start over. And I'm gonna do this all over again. Does that make sense?
So you just put the whole thing on a material value? Is that what you're saying?
It's not all about material. You have spent years to build everything you have. That includes what you're building for your kids, their future. You're starting over everything when you start over in a new relationship. When you leave one relationship, you're starting over again. So we only have so much time on this earth.
Oh, so you cast aside like dignity and pride and your ego and all that kind of good stuff. Is that what you're saying? And you just like,
Absolutely.
oh.
Hey,
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 well,
and this
That's a
Ephraim,
logical decision to make. It's
hey,
not on
hold
emotion.
on. I'm not saying I wouldn't accept that if she was telling me this, but if it was me on the other hand and she was doing it, I just
men
can't say
can't handle
that.
it. We
I
can't handle
Men
it.
can't
can't handle it, but it's
tell her that.
most likely the
I don't
men
know if
are
I'd
the
be like,
ones that's doing it,
okay,
not the
baby, you go
women.
away. I'm gonna check you out for 6 months, and then, baby, come on, baby, we back good. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Corey, I know
It
we
don't
just
cost.
me, but I don't know if I got enough strength there.
Look, it don't cost Court no extra money. She'll just bring a doggone test home from the office and say, "Pee right there.
Corey,
Give me your blood." She'll bring a syringe. Let me get your blood, nigga. Come on, let me get your
Corey,
blood.
I just don't know.
How
I
do we
don't know
know
if
that's not the bigger issue, though? How do we know that's not the bigger issue? Because things aren't working out with people in relationships. Why?
Hey, it's a whole lot of reason why, but
I
cheating
just
is one of
told
the
you
main
why.
ones.
I just tell you why. A breakdown in sex, a breakdown in finances, a breakdown in communication. Anything you say gonna fall in them categories.
That's good. That's true.
When it
That
break
is true.
down, you gonna go get it.
Wow. So if it's going to be a breakdown in sex,
Yep.
it's a breakdown in communication,
Yep.
or it's a breakdown in
Finance.
finances.
Well,
One of
instead of
those three
sex,
things.
just use the word intimacy. That's better.
Intimacy.
It's more
Okay.
professional. Yeah, I
Well, you
think
say
so.
sexual. When you I'm gonna put it back up. When you said it, the word you used was sexual compatibility and
Ooh,
well intimacy.
yeah,
That's the words you
ooh,
use, Esquire. He
ooh,
used
that
the
was,
word sexual
ooh.
compatibility, finances, and those are things that really should have been worked on. But this is the thing for me though, Ephraim and Coy. We're talking about step 7 in the relationship, but we having trouble getting through the door.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, right.
We ain't even making it to the second and third date. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many other factors. Like you said, people leading, talking about. I heard had a girl tell me earlier today, "Well, you the man, you supposed to take care of me." I said, "Huh?" I said, "You got a
Right.
job?"
That's
She
so
said,
sad.
"Yeah." She
No.
said, "No." She said, "No, you the man. You supposed to take care of me. You supposed to give me breakfast in bed. You supposed to do this." I said, "Girl, you're gonna be waiting a long ass time if you think I'm gonna sit up here and do all those things for you, because you got me mixed up. You earned that, cat. I'm sorry. Now that woman I was with for 10, 15, no, for years, or somebody that I've decided I want to make this investment in, or I've chosen that you're definitely going to be her, then yeah, I might make some of those investments. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, it's got to be a mutually beneficial relationship. It ain't one-sided. It ain't me just doing everything for you and you're not. And I think and then she told me also, she said, "Well, I'm the prize."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I can't
that's the worst thing somebody
I
could.
can't believe you just say that kills me. Hey, you ooh,
That's sad, but they've been taught
ooh,
that.
ooh,
People have been
listen.
taught that. They've seen other women say that, so that's all they know. And until they step out of
Ooh.
their environment and experience something else, I mean, we just y'all have to work with us, the ones that
So
Man,
let
took
me
no, we
it.
ask you a
They
don't.
don't know
question.
any better.
So you mean tell me I meet a woman, right? She got 4 kids, 3 baby daddies. She got 530 credit score.
Wow.
She didn't finish college,
But she the
and
prize.
she using just whoever she can deal with to help her with stuff. And then you meet her, you don't know all this. You start learning about her, but you have started liking her as you learn about her. And then she hit you with what James has said. And then you have to step back and you have to look in the mirror and you have to say, okay, you have education, you got an 800 credit score, you own properties, you got a portfolio, you got one child that's an adult, you work every day. I mean, you want to be good to a woman, you're open, you honest. Wait a minute. Why the hell I ain't depressed? You know what I'm saying? How the hell? You? Oh, I know why. I know why though. Because the value that society places on a vagina supersedes any of that.
What's the value? Because I had somebody tell me $200. Is that the value? Then somebody else said, said $300. I mean, he said the value that society places on vagina is what he said.
You know what's funny about that though? It was $200 or $300 to you because they were just trying to make some money. But to somebody they trying to date or be with on the other side, it's priceless.
Bruh, you just said a mouthful right there. You just said a mouthful. And I thought about it, but I didn't think about it quite like that. Because you said to the person that's willing to pay the $200 or $300, it's just $200 or $300. But if I'm the cat that was potentially interested in you and possibly taking it somewhere else, God, and I've seen it. I've seen it happen for real. Coy, do you hear me?
Yeah.
They lead with that. Am I lying, Efrem?
I don't think it's the majority, though.
We can't never say it's the majority. We're just saying that it's out here. I don't listen, Coy, you've been with me long enough. You know I don't present solutions. I present scenarios. And see and what happens is a lot of sisters that are solid, and that are doing okay and probably are considered somewhat of a prize. They don't realize that the ones they're competing with are out here doing this kind of stuff.
Oh man.
And they're doing worse. I mean, doing that and worse. I mean, $200-$300. Because a girl told me that, and I'm like, huh? I said, but you realize that if I take you up on your offer, which I didn't, if I take you up on your offer, let me clarify that. I ain't gonna waste my money like that. My attention span ain't that long. But the thing,
no.
But if I do, I told him, I said, our friendship is transactional at that point. But what you mean?
Yeah.
It can't be the same. We ain't just kicking it. We ain't just hanging out. We ain't no Netflixing and chilling or none of that going on. We have a transactional friendship. And that's where we're going to be stuck at, because I can't never get past the fact, that you put a value on. And if that's all you thought it was, come on, man. My time is worth Esquire, you have billable hours. You know what I'm saying? What is that all $200? That's all you feel like your value is? Something that used to be so priceless. Something that they used to put chastity belts around with locks and keys.
What's the oldest occupation in the world, though?
Huh? It's definitely the oldest occupation.
So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Double-edged.
I'm done.
No, don't be done. Hey, I'm talking about, I had a friend, man, that she and I, we were like, I don't know, we had like I thought, like this great understanding, you know what I'm saying? That we had dealt with each other and stuff. And so we ended up on this, I'm trying not to make it so it could be like obvious to what happened. So we ended up somewhere, together. And like, but we didn't come together, but we were there together. And like,
okay.
No, we didn't come to the place together, but we were there together. And we were there for a while, like for some days. And so during that whole time, we already had this friendship at first, right? And so while we're here together in this place, we don't act upon our friendship that we already have, right? I'm talking, we don't act upon it at all. So as we get ready to come back, we're in the situation where, we're getting ready to leave the place or whatever. And we kind of like having this little conversation, and she makes a comment, and then, I make my comment. And so then she says, well, are you just mad because I didn't, hook up with you or whatever while we was here? And then I said, mad, like, why would I be mad? And you know what her comeback was?
What was that?
Why wouldn't you?
No. Had you paid for my trip, We could have kicked it the whole time, but you didn't pay for my trip, so therefore that's why I ain't kicking with you. But
Well,
we
you gotta pay
already,
to play, don't you?
but thank you,
That's what
Corey
they
girl.
say. You gotta pay to play.
The
So if she's
amazing
the
thing
type
is
of woman,
though,
you already know who you dealing with.
well, there you go. So I don't know if she that type of woman because as you and I
Oh
just
my.
stated, we've already been friends and
Right.
super social. And in this situation, when it happened, I was blown away. I ain't gonna lie, it blew my mind.
It's disappointing. It's almost disheartening. It really is.
Mm.
It really
Well,
is.
if you guys, I have a question for y'all. If y'all know that's what y'all are dealing with, wouldn't it be easier for you guys to figure out how to deal with it and find someone and move forward in this type of environment? Is
Corey, I
that
think
not
we
the
are dealing
easiest
with
thing
it.
to do?
I think we are. I mean, if you think about it, we are dealing with it. We moving on. We
I,
mean,
I
because
I know you guys
you
aren't
hold on,
dealing
hold
with
on,
it.
hold on, hold on, hold on. You got you. It ain't a sign on their forehead saying this is how I am.
Right.
Ain't no they don't have a big disclaimer saying I'm a gold digger or I'm this or I'm that. So it might take a few conversations. It might take a date or two. It might take 3 dates. But I think the reason why there are so few relationships is because once we do find out, we move on. And the difference is that because it's 3 million more of you all than it is us, we got a whole lot more we can move through until we find what we're looking for. But
Yeah, women are bigger players than men.
well, they are,
Me,
dog.
they just stick it on us. Cause let me ask you something. So in the day, I mean, like just take a week. So let's say Monday through Sunday. So Monday
Uh,
through Sunday, you and I, James, we go do all stuff we do. All every time we go to the grocery store, we go to the gas station. We may even stop at our favorite little bar, have a drink. We go to church, we go to work, we go do everything. So that's Monday through Sunday. We've done all our regular routine. What are the chances that a woman is going to approach one of us and be like, "Hey, Efrem, hey, James, I was just checking you out. I thought you was a nice looking man. I was wanting to know if I can get your number. I was just interested. Just anything. You know what I'm saying? What are the chances? They're very small, very small. But a woman, on the other hand, when she leave the house with her confidence and looking the way that she feels she should be presenting herself, I mean, Monday through Sunday, she can't even count the amount of times she been flirted with, where she has had a choice on who she wants to provide her intimacy with. You see the difference? So they get to pick what they doing. You know what I'm saying? All every day, gas station, Walmart, grocery store, drugstore, work at work. I mean, just everywhere. So who has the better opportunity to pick and choose a mate, a man or a woman?
A woman.
They say women choose who they sleep with. Men choose who they marry.
mm, yep, I agree
What
with
do you
that.
think? You know what I'm just saying. So,
Yeah,
Corey, can you tell these women to stop being like that? And let's just
please.
all try to get along and get to know each other and see if we can find somebody that we can bond with without the
Well,
cliches, without the games,
yeah.
without being judgmental, just let's go. And then, another scenario they put us in, and I'm pretty sure, James, you've been in this situation before too, just being who you are when you deal with a woman, sometimes they use that, back at you like, you just saying that because you said such such such. No, I'm saying that because I'm trying to be genuine with you. This is who I am.
Oh
Not
yeah,
because
I
I'm
get
such
that. I
such
hate
such.
that one. Don't
Don't you
think for
hate
me.
it? I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it so
I,
much.
you asked me a question. I'm of age. I can speak. I can communicate. I answer the question. Then you tell me what I meant. I don't. That one flirt. That one definitely irked the mess out of me too.
You just said it because you're a pastor. Pastor just another blah blah blah. You like dumb fans. You like, well, damn, I can't just be a person and just be my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Lord Jesus. Can I just get
That's
loved
very
by
crazy.
somebody? Because somebody just come sweep me off my feet, man, and take me out the dating game.
Hey, okay. I got a question though, Efrem. How
Uh,
long? At what age did you get to the point where you were ready to settle down and because I ain't gonna lie, I know I had to get some play out of me. You know what I'm saying? I had to get some because I messed up. You know, they talk about growth. Sometimes growing produces growing pains, and I knew I produced my share of pains until I finally grew up. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah, I
what
got
point?
married.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. You answer. You good? Go ahead.
I got married when I was 30, right? And
Okay.
really, I was settled because my friend, man, I got this one friend. He my best partner in the whole world, man. We be kicking it. All right, he has this standing joke, even though since I've been, divorced for a while. He like, man, I don't care what we was doing. Efrem will leave and be home by 9 o'clock. I'm like, what? He was like, man. He said, man, we at the bar having a good time. Next thing you know, Efrem gone. We be here, we'll be there, we'll be doing this. He at the house. And then he said every weekend he had the same routine. Before he played golf, he had to go do the yard work and put gas in both cars and make sure everybody at the house was all right. So, I was settled uh and ready then. And unfortunately, things didn't work. So it was not a whole negative fiasco when I got a divorce. And in fact, my ex-wife and I, we don't argue and fight or anything now. You know what I'm saying? We're cordial with each other in public. We're in the same circles because we like she like in a sorority that's related to my fraternity, that type of stuff. But here lately, I've been out on the dating scene. I've been in a couple situations. I've been in some situations that possibly could have escalated to, me being married again or whatever. But those situations just didn't work. They weren't right or whatever, just whatever happened. But you want to know at this point, right now, today, would I rather go date 4 or 5 women, or would I rather have my own person who respects me, has my back, and we growing? I would rather have the latter. I would rather have today, and I can handle it. I can do it. I mean, a lot of stuff I do. Like I just came back from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Cowboys in the playoffs, and I was with a couple of my friends. You know what? They went out 2 nights in a row. I went to bed. I was like, man, I'm tired. Y'all can have all that. Now just imagine if I went with that person who was my person, and we was spooning or laying down cuddling after we watched this great game. That'd have been it.
Perfect.
Right. I'm at that stage of my life where I ain't got to stay out all night and I don't have to run the streets and all that. I'm like at the perfect dating situation in my life. That's why I am. So now I'm ready. What you say, Coy?
I said that's just too much spooning and shit. We
Yeah.
sweating. Get off of me.
I sleep. Hey, Coy. I sleep with the fan on.
Me too. That's why you gonna stay over there and I'm gonna stay over here.
Well, I sleep with the window up, so that's why
We
you
too
need
old for
me
that.
to
We
look.
sweating shit at
Look,
night.
I sleep with the window up, so you need me to bags to slip in. So you gonna be seeking out. You gonna be a heat seeking missile looking out for heat. And this dog gonna, cause I'm freezing you out. It's every bit of 45 degrees in my bedroom right now.
Yes, indeed.
You better go to heat seeking. I promise you. No, but no, that's.
I had to think about what you said.
TMI Lazaric. Lazaric said he'd like to sleep naked and the windows and blinds open myself. Lazaric, hey, do y'all believe in prayer? Let's stretch our hands towards Florida right now, wherever he is. Let's pray for Lazaric right now. We can spoon a few minutes, take a break and spoon again. That's Buttercup. Oh,
right. You hear me?
Take clothes off and
yeah, Buttercup got it right. That's
wow,
right. That's
it's
how
a
you
whole
do
lot
it.
of stuff going on. This is crazy.
No, that's right.
But
That's
I'm on
it
my
right there. You
podcast
spoon
right now.
for a little while, you get away, you spoon a little bit more, go sleep.
Yeah. Hey. He said, "Don't judge me." I'm in the same boat though, for real. I'm real talk. I mean, and Corey, you've heard me say this before, and I'm gonna put this up. We can ready to get off here because I ain't gonna hold you too long, Esquire. I don't know why somebody keeps calling me while I'm on my show, but they're gonna stop. This says, "Lady," no, that's what I was looking at. The show I put out. It was a thought I put out last week. Here it is. This is what my homeboy told me, Lazaric. I mean, I called you a Lazaric, Efrem. He said, "I'm not looking for anything serious until I find it." What you think about that? That's what he said when it comes to dating for him. He said, he lets all women know I'm just dating, I'm just hanging out, ain't nothing serious. I'm not looking for anything serious until I find it.
Because
when I
it is
find it,
very superficial.
but when I find no, hold on. But when I find it, I'll know what it is. And that's basically what Efrem just said. He said, I'd rather have this one person to deal with than to be out here dealing with a whole bunch of other folks. But when you find that one person, you want them to hear it. Because when women hear it, because in about the 5th grade, when they started teaching us, really how to read good and stuff, they started teaching us this thing about how to extract the main idea. And sometimes it seems like when brothers and sisters are presented with the same scenario, that we miss the main idea. The only thing they noticed on was not looking for anything serious. But the key part for that is until I find it. But once I find it, the other stuff don't even matter anymore. And I think that's what Efrem is basically saying. He said he went all the way to San Francisco to watch San Francisco play against that other team.
Right.
And against that other team. And who was they playing?
It don't seem like
other
things ever mattered to him. He was always at home at 9.
But after he was married, he was at home at 9. That was the point. Main idea again. Main idea. It wasn't that he was out late. Hey,
I don't stay out late now.
Efrem is a part of Tasig. You don't know what that is. She has Efrem is a part of Tasig at University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Believe me, he knows how to party. I used to look. I think he was a junior, senior when I was a freshman. So I used to look up to all those. I wanted to
say he knows how to party.
Yeah, I wanted to play it so bad. I knew they was gonna kill me, and I didn't take no chances. I said I want to live. So I never. And plus, they was on probation. I think all the time I was there.
Hey, it's cold.
I'm joking. Don't send the goons after me, Efrem. I'm just joking. I'm playing.
No. Hey, while you playing, we was on probation from 1992 to 96.
And I was there 90.
That is a shame.
4 years, no lying.
And look, and listen, Coy, them Negroes, there was some grown men. Boy, I'm talking about some grown, big old 6'7", 6'5" grown men. I used to want to play it so bad, but I was like, no, I'm gonna sit my butt over here. I'm scared. But anyway, so my point is, he knows how to party. When I found out that he was a lawyer, I was like, whoa, Efrem. You know what I mean? But he was doing his thing. I'm sorry, my bad, bro. But I told you I looked up to you. I did tell you that, didn't I say that?
You
I said it publicly, and I said it privately, and I'm saying it publicly. So I did say it. So my point is, he knew how to party. So if he got into a marriage and marriage changed, because see, that's the thing about us. And I say it all the time. When we get married on day 1, we're not who we're going to be in year 10. You shouldn't be anyway. You grow up in the marriage. You grow up. He grew up, and at a certain point, he was on by 9. Hell, I didn't go out past 6 or 7 because I ain't like going out. Unless I was going to a baseball game or something with the kid related. I didn't go out. I was at home because that was a comfort for me. But as men, as we settle down, we want to just have that, what he's talking about. Like you said, I would rather be in San Francisco after the game, sitting in the hotel room, watching Netflix, chilling with my woman, instead of being out at a bar and never know what bullets on. I ain't never known bullets to have no names. I mean, no names on them. Right. And they don't discriminate. So the safest place in the whole wide world to be is on my couch in my house or in my bed. And I'm comfortable with that. And I would rather be able to do that with somebody that is sexually compatible, someone that I can communicate with, and someone that we can financially build together. That's it.
Boy, you said it. Yeah, that's dope.
That's it. If I got those 3 things and we can build, and you know what, Efrem, I didn't realize until later on in life or after I was divorced. But guess who was better with the money in my family? She was. So I should have let her handle the money a little bit better.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And that's one of those. Yeah, and that's one of those things where they talk about men taking the lead and all that kind of stuff. Nah, man. I mean, it ain't about the man's supposed to be responsible for certain things, in the direction that the family goes, especially like stuff like spirituality, to ensure, that your family has a spiritual basis that, y'all can grow on, fall back on when there's issues, stuff like that. Family core values, you should instill those and, enforce those with your family, you know what I'm saying, and teach love and all of this. So men have a role, but when we start talking about all that submissiveness and all that stuff, I dig the word and I understand it coming from, but that would mean, like you're saying, like that mean with the woman wouldn't even be able to have anything to say about the money because you over there dominated, and you like me, we both realize that we ain't the best with the money. You know, and so if she better with the money, hey, I mean, just let her handle it. You know, have better. And if y'all love and trust each other, it's gonna make it even better.
Exactly. And there's
Yeah,
and I think what you're saying though, Ephraim, also is leading and lording aren't the same thing.
Ooh, please break it down.
Some people want to lord over somebody instead of lead them and lead them. You know, so there's a difference. I mean, hell, the strong. I think in a wolf pack, when the wolves are traveling in a pack, the strongest wolf is in the back. It's in the back. You know, you got one that leads in the front, but the stronger ones, they're in the back. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to protect the people that are walking. When I walked with my family, a lot of times when we were together, I didn't always walk out in the front. I walked almost in the back to make sure I could see them in front of me. So I mean, one time we were at Atlantic Station about to get something to eat, and my daughter had walked off, but I could see it. And I see this car going, going a little bit faster than it should have been. And it was and my daughter was steadily walking, and all of a sudden that car was steadily going, the music a little loud. I said, "Hey, slow down." And I'm talking about this whole area, and over the music and everything just stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my baby. And I couldn't have seen that if I didn't have the right perspective, if I didn't have the right projection, the right projection to be able to see. And so many times we as men want to lead from the front, and you can't see what's happening behind you, and you miss it. You know, so I think part of leading is knowing where you need to be, and then getting in place and handling it like that. What you about to say, man? I see them hands up.
I'm giving you this. This means you dropping dimes.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate
you dropping dimes. You dropping dimes on us.
Yeah, that's it, man. And that's the thing, Doc. Let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, and we're about to shut this down. I got to take my daughter home. But listen, this is the thing right here. I think so many times we don't realize that the greatest enemy of originality is a template. And so we're always looking for a template for our relationships. We're looking for a template for our homes. We're looking for a template because we want to see somebody else who's already done what we want to see what somebody has already done, and then try to duplicate it. When necessarily they don't necessarily mean, because we might not necessarily wear the same type of shoes or the same size shoes, and what works for your house might not necessarily work in Corey. What works in your house might not work in my house, right? If you got a king size bed and I got a little small room, guess what? A king size bed ain't gonna fit in my room. It wasn't made for that. So I better be cool with that full size, and preferably I can get a queen in there. You know what I'm saying? But I take what works, and that's the same thing we need to do in our relationships and in our marriages and our things, instead of looking at other folk trying to, man, learn your partner. That's one thing I learned too late, but I did learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you can admit, and I have the same experience. We broke up amicably. We're still cool. We talk. You know what I'm saying? Because, but I just messed up. We grew apart. So, but that don't mean I didn't learn. So next time, and I heard, Lazaric, I heard what you say. How would you know that he is in search of yet if he finds it, if he doesn't know what it is that he's looking for? I want you to answer that question for yourself. That's gonna be your homework, Lazaric. I know we'll talk about that'll be our conversation tomorrow, because you're supposed to know what that means, and I ain't gonna give it to you right now. I give it to you later on. You know you're my homeboy, but yeah, some stuff you might not know. You ain't looking for. You don't know none of that. It just kind of happens. You know what I mean? When Mary and Elizabeth hooked up in the Bible, and one of them was carrying John and one was carrying Jesus, their bellies just leaped. The babies didn't know each other, but the bellies leaped because their spirits agreed. When you're in the right relationship, or you think that you meet the right one, if it's her, you're gonna know it. You're gonna know it. I mean, it might be love at first sight. It might be whatever it is, but it's something that's gonna trigger. And don't beat me up right here. Beat me up in the morning on our conversation. But listen, I'm going to wind this down, because we're at 10:09. I ain't even get to what I wanted to talk about tonight, so it'll be okay.
Oh man, we apologize. I'm sorry.
No problem. No, we are real good. Here it
Call
is.
Me back. Call me back one day so I can talk about it with you.
We will. But this is what I was going to do. I was going to deal with 5 issues with dating today, and the 5 issues are knowing what you want, pressure and harassment, pandemic dating, dating apps, and ghosting. We might jump on those and really explain what those things are in the next week or two. And you said you will come back.
Yes, sir.
You'll come back.
Yeah, me and Corey, we got some more arguing to do.
Oh, well, Corey like to argue now.
Argue with you. Play it, James.
Huh?
Play it.
She ain't gonna argue with you, but she will make you think you're arguing though. and be laughing at the same look and be laughing at the same time. That's why. and then call me after the show and tell me that I got that nigga. I'm like, I had to pull her back. That's my homie though. That's my homie.
Oh,
but no,
man.
real talk though, man. It's been fun. Efrem, we got to unpack your that post some more though. We do have to unpack it some more because there's some more stuff in there that because I'm gonna be honest with you, the thing that I saw more than anything, because sometimes when I really want to see, I close my eyes. Man, there was a lot of hurt, there was a lot of trauma, and there was a lot of bleeding going on in that post because like I said, you didn't really give a set topic. You made it general. And then, and at that point, people kind of took out of it what they want, and they took it in whole different directions. Like you said, old girl said something about the reason why we can't date now is because of the crack era.
What?
She had a rationale. Hey, she had a rationale though. Efrem said, I have no clue what that means. Efrem said, I have no clue. I don't know how that relates to the topic, but okay. She said, well, crack babies are raising children. Honestly, though, crackheads are grandmamas right now.
That's what she was saying.
Yes,
she was saying that crackheads
true.
will raise the people, these kids. I was like, I'm too old to be dating.
But they weren't the ones raising them, though. Their mothers were raising them.
But you had crack babies raising kids.
Yeah,
because crack hit 86, so 86 plus to 2023. What's that? 37.
Oh my gosh.
So crackheads are starting to become grandmamas and all that kind of stuff now. So we got you got some real issues. I mean, I get what she was saying, but it was funny reading it because he was like, I don't understand how that has anything to do with this conversation.
Yeah, that's what I was just confused about, but it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the point. That was the point I was trying to make with somebody last week came on the show. First thing when they heard us talking, first thing they said was, no, that's not true. I hate people to do that because mostly what we do and what we say is relative. And there are our own specific truths, right? I mean, so if it's my truth, you don't come on telling me what's not true for me. And if I've thought about something long enough, you know what I'm saying? I have a rationale for what I'm saying or what I'm thinking. So respect me enough to at least explain what I'm trying to say. Like I said, I don't present solutions. I present scenarios. And that's all we're doing. And that's all we've done tonight. And I think the best scenario we got is the advice that Esquire gave us when he said when he's looking for three things when it comes to three categories when it comes to relationships. And I think if we all go by these three categories, I think we'll be okay. Number one, look for sexual compatibility. If the finances aren't there, look for somebody you can build with. They might not have a whole lot of money right now, but they might have a capacity to get money, or they might not be out here making bad debt. They might not be out here making it, as he said, that 530 credit score, but they just need somebody to help them get themselves together. That happens. I've seen women come along and make a man better with his finances. I've seen them do it. I've seen a woman come along and help a man get his business together. I've seen it happen. I've seen men help women get along. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But if you choose to be in that relationship, watch this. Nobody's obligated until somebody put a ring on somebody's finger or until a contract is in. Nobody's obligated. So if I decide I want to exit stage left because I don't agree with some of your values, then cool, no harm, no foul. But the last thing is you got to have communication. You got to have communication. And you find somebody who communicates like you. Efrem, I don't argue with women. I don't do it. So if it's somebody who's not, I don't do it. Bro, I don't, for real. I don't argue with nobody. I can't fight. If we can't fight, we not arguing. I'm just not gonna do it. So I promise you. We can try again. How long I've been saying that, Coy?
Forever.
Yeah, I don't argue about.
That's pretty good.
I'm not arguing either. That's my time. My time is precious. I can't do that.
Nah, man. I'm telling you. I mean, 20 years. My daughters are here right now. I could bring her in here. I could put on the microphone. She'll tell you. But out of 20 years, I might have had 2, maybe 3 arguments with my ex. We just didn't argue because number one, you had 2 intelligent people, and then you had 2 intelligent people who love the Lord. So we just we can talk about it again in 5 minutes. Now, we might have been guilty sometime of sweeping some stuff under the rug that might have needed to be talked about, but we wasn't going to, we need to figure out a way to say it. And I think the best time we ever figured out how to talk was at a point where we would have these things that I call 3 a.m. conversations. For some reason, every night at the same time, we'd wake up by 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was pitch black in the room, and we would be talking. Couldn't see each other, but we'd have those would be our deepest conversations. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find the best way to communicate. And but if you have sexual compatibility, figure out how to build finances together and find out who's better with the money, whatever. And then the final thing is have good communication. Will be good. So that's it. That's all we're gonna talk about. Listen, Little Rock, I want to thank you all. We had a good event on. I know you were out of town, Efrem, but we had a good event Saturday. Man, your bros came in that night too. The Qs had something that night. They watched the game at that place. So we had an event. We called it the Melting Pot Speed Dating, and it was really, really good. It was really, really good. We're coming back again in April.
Did you see those eyes, James?
Yeah,
Efrem want to be a part of that.
Well, I invited him, but I knew he couldn't come because he was going to San Francisco. He went to. I
gotta give me a wife. I don't know why Corey keep cracking these jokes. Corey, I'm gonna mess around. I'm gonna mess around, and I'm gonna have like the perfect woman. You gonna build that like.
I'm gonna be happy for you.
I know, but you still gonna be like. He finally did.
Listen, y'all are so funny. I hope it happened. I hope it happened. Corey, good people, bro. For real, Corey really is real.
I can tell. That's why we get along so well.
Yeah, you did. But when she started trying to comfort you at the beginning of the show, you said, "Okay, I didn't realize we was going to analyze my life tonight." But okay, then she gonna say, "Well, let me say it another way." He said, "You know, I am an attorney,
He
right?"
said it the same way.
You can rephrase it and say it the same way.
No, I'm really asking you a question. Like what?
3 times, 3 different ways.
Yeah, I heard it.
It's not an assumption. It's a question.
I heard. That's my look. That's my Corey though. That's why I got her around. Listen, on certain people, I just let her go. I let her go because I ain't gonna do it. But I ain't gonna do it.
Jeffrey said she tried to trap me.
I thought you were gonna be like, well, when you were 9 years old, can you tell us what happened?
James,
you wear boxers and briefs.
That's what I do.
Now you say you wear a size 10 and a half, but can you wear an 11?
What's your European shoe size? Is it 42 or 38? I just need to know. But that's her. But no. But let me tell you, she'll support them, man. She supports. She's a beast. She is. But no, Fredo, I appreciate you. No, but Fredo, April, we're coming back. We're gonna do it again. I'm doing one in Atlanta. I'm in the planning process of that now. So we're gonna listen. I'm trying to get us to communicate with each other, and the best part about that speed dating event was to hear those conversations that were taking place simultaneously at the respective tables. So we're gonna do it again in April. It's gonna be bigger and better next time. So I'm excited about that. And Corey, I know you said you'll be at the next one, and hopefully you'll be able to make the one in Atlanta. So we're gonna see how it goes, man. And I know some of the Qs, they said that they wanted to be a part of it when they came. They were like, well, if we had known about this, we would have been a part about it. So been a part of it. So we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. And I'm looking forward to it. Tonight has been a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. I want to do it again. I want to unpack some more of his statements. I gotta let my music start over. There we go. Listen, those that are listening tonight, if you want to support the platform, there are several ways to give. You can give star. Look at the bottom of at the bottom down there where the heart and the emoticons are. There's a star application. Press that. You can send stars. If you want to give Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, you can do that as well. You got several things going on. TV shows about to start soon. I put it on pause for a couple of weeks, but the TV show will be coming out in the next couple of weeks on Inspire Youth Network. So remember this, as I always say, the world is changing. My question for you is why do you remain the same?
The same.
That's the question. Why do you remain the same? Good night, Efrem.
Good night, y'all.
All right. Much love. Peace to everybody.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Uh-oh, we're going to pull it out.